I'd love to trim cases on the press with the rest of my case prep activities, and with the Dillon RT-1500 I can, and that is the subject of this video. Gavin here from UltimateReloader.com. In the last video in this series, we got the CP-2000 from Dillon out of the box, and we got it set up for the first stages of .308 Winchester case prep. In this video, we're going to get the RT-1500 out of the box. I've got my .308 case trim die here. We're going to put it all together. So let's see what is in the box. Boom. Instructions. This is the shop vac attachment. Sucks away the chips. We've got the power adapter, and we've got the motorized head unit. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is probably my quickest unboxing ever. What I'm going to do is read the instructions. We're going to get this case trim die set up, get everything mounted, turn it on. We're going to be trimming in no time. Okay, we're going to start with the size and trim die installation. And after looking at things, I'm going to put it one more station ahead of the swaging station so that we have more room for the chip collection shield there and duct work, the manifold, if you will. And what we're going to do is, I want some aggressive sizing with this. This is military brass. It never seems like I can size it enough. So I'm going to start with this cranked all the way down. Dillon says to start with it all the way down and then back it off a half turn. But if I'm oversizing here, I'm not going to worry about that, and I can always back it off a little bit if needed. I put some Imperial case sizing wax on this case to give it a good prime for the die. If the die is brand new, I like to use Mobil 1 synthetic oil or Imperial case sizing wax for the first case, just to get it good and lubed. We're going to size it, and then let's check to see with our case gauge. This is an L.E. Wilson .308 Winchester case gauge where we're at. That looks good. So we're going to keep it there. That is a good sizing for that. Let's check our case length here. The spec for .308 Winchester is 2.015. This one says 2.022. So we're going to knock 15 or 20 thou off so that we're shorter than the spec'd length. That's not going to be a bit of a problem. Give us a little bit of headroom to grow, probably for at least one or two sizings before we'll have the need to trim again. So we're going to lower the tool head with the brass in place. We can see the case mouth sticking up inside the trim die. That's going to protect the trim die from this cutter coming down on the steel of the die accidentally. It's going to give us a good starting point. So we're going to put this lock nut on there. That has different threading, by the way, compared to the standard lock nut. Let me show you this actually real quick. There's threading on the inside of the motor assembly that matches the top of the trim die, obviously. And then on the shaft, there's a three-way indexable carbide cutter. And as a machinist, I'm familiar with these. These are great because you get 3 fresh surfaces per insert. And I probably have a bunch of these laying around the shop too for various cutters on the mill and on the lathe. So we're going to start the motor assembly on the threads here. I'm just going to look through the window here and watch to see when I'm contacting the case mouth. Right there. Okay. So we're going to go, what I'm going to guess is about somewhere around 15 thousandths-ish. We'll give it a quick check. See if we're even in the right vicinity. Okay. So I'm going to get the power hooked up. We're going to turn the machine on, and then we'll do a test trim. So I got power plugged in, and I decided to route the cord here on this side. Initially, I had it right over the handle. That wasn't going to work too well. The unit is actually smoother and quieter than what I pictured. I pictured something a little bit more aggressive and loud sounding. So because I've got eye protection on, I'm going to trim one without the vacuum kind of chip collection system in place so we can kind of see what's happening and see if we like our setting. Okay, so this is the very first time I've tried this. Let's see what happens. Nice. And let's see where our overall case length is at now. 2.009. So that's 6 under. I think that's going to be a pretty good setting, and we could also crank it down a little bit more if we wanted to shorten that closer to 2 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that chip collection system in place, get it hooked up to the shop vac. We'll load up a bunch of cases. I'm going to lube these with lanolin for kind of the production case prep process here, and we'll go through our case prep process. So I took some of my once fired military brass, sprayed some lanolin lube on it, put it in the case feeder. We've got the case feed run up. We've got cases advanced to the appropriate station. Let's turn on our trimmer. Let's turn on our shop vac and get down to business. Now we're doing case prep in style. Now I can see the true value of the CP-2000. Having a dedicated machine with automated trimming is going to completely change how I think about treating and prepping and reloading my military 223 and 308 brass. This is going to save me a lot of time. I'm totally excited to get this rolling. Now, a couple things. First, wouldn't it be cool to show this side by side with the RL-1100 loading 308 ammunition? Got a plan for that. And then second, what about taking bulk military once fired 5.56 and 223 brass and using the CP-2000 to trim it down for 300 blackout loads? Now that would be cool as well. My question for you, what are you doing with your CP-2000 or your RT-1500? What's your case prep process? Drop a comment and we'll start a discussion. Don't forget, I've first linked down in the video description, full article with links to product pages and so on and so forth. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, make your voice heard. If you have something to say, please drop a comment. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications because you're not going to want to miss the awesome content that is coming up. And finally, flex your reloading pride. You could look great in one of these t-shirts. We've got multiple designs at the Ultimate Reloader store. I'll see you later because I'm off to go shooting.